If you could swap lives with anyone in the world right now, who would you swap lives with? This is the very question that the Rizzler was asked a few weeks ago, or maybe a few months ago. Don't exactly know. And his answer to this question was a homeless person. Now, at its base, this is a funny video. Like, the Rizzler saying a homeless person, he's just a kid. Like, he doesn't know. But if you really think about it, maybe the Rizzler is onto something. When I asked this very question to many people, I got a few answers. Some were like, I want to be Elon Musk. Some said I want to be Kim Jong-un. Some even said the guy who like killed a lot of people in World War II. And one person even said Sadhguru, that being a very spiritual man. When I got this question asked, I said a very basic answer, being a rich person. But then when I went further into the Rizzler's approach on it, I really saw maturity. For a kid who's 5, 6 years old, 6, 7 years old, like, that's very mature from him. To say a homeless person, it really means so much on so many levels that the Rizzler came from a middle class family, and then he reached these high peaks where he was meeting people who were above even him, but he met them so casually. And at his peak of his career, he says if he could swap lives for one day, he would go right back down. And when you ask that very question to yourself, why would he do that? And I believe the reason why isn't as simple as it seems. What most people would probably think is, oh, he wants to experience difficulty and understand how blessed he is. Sure, on like basic terms, that's what it is. But at the same time, there's so much depth to it. At this point, Rizzler is so high that if I saw the Rizzler on like the road right now, I would go crazy. I think if anyone saw him, they'd be like, oh my god, that's the Rizzler. But when you look at a homeless man, what does society do? We walk right past them. We don't say hi, we don't say hello, we don't offer them food. Some of us very rarely give them money, but most of us walk past. And I think sometimes the Rizzler yearns for a life like that again. Remember, this kid was 6 or 7 years old and his life was basically taken away from him. He's not the ordinary kid. I don't think he can go to an ordinary school and be casually, like Jacob or whatever. I don't know. He's forced to be this internet personality, and in many ways or not, being a homeless person sometimes might be an easier thought for him. Sometimes when I think about that answer, I also think, what would happen to me? And for us regular beings, the people who aren't famous or rich or whatever, I think if we were homeless for one day, we would be so thankful for our lives. We would be so happy with what we have, and we tend to like forget that even middle class is it's so blessed to be able to have food on your table every day, to have a roof out over your head, to be able to call your friends, to have internet, to be able to go outside sometimes and enjoy your weekend. To really big blessing that we keep forgetting we have. And honestly, that's such an inspirational answer by him that he even thought about it. The other answers I want to talk about is someone said Sadhguru. Sadhguru is a very spiritually awakened man, and that answer gave me a lot. That answer was from a friend of mine. She said she wishes to be Sadhguru because it would let her have peace, because he's a very she'd have a lot of peace, and she would feel what true happiness would be like. And thinking about it, if the rules were I could learn from the experience, I can take the experience and move on with my life, that is a really good answer. Because if you can learn how he's happy, how he's peaceful, and then move on with your life, that would be life-changing. Think about it. If you could have the rules of life itself in your head, and you can figure out how to be happy from a single day, and then you can implement it in your everyday life, that'd be life-changing, would it not? Like, that would go crazy. Some other answers I want to go on. some people said a rich man, and if I'm being honest, it's kind of a basic answer, and I don't like my answer myself because it's also kind of basic. But the only reason I chose a rich man is because, you know, you can just be rich, you can have money, you can spend a lot of money. But I also feel like these rich people, they have a lot of pain behind them. We just don't know what it is. There's a lot of secrets behind them, and we never know. God forbid, like if you actually if someone did actually get to do this, who knows what they go through? They could go through severe depression, for all we know. But yeah, that's the topic. But I leave it up to you guys. Who would you switch your lives with? Would it be a homeless man? Would it be a rich man? Would it be Sadhguru? Or would it be the man who killed a lot of people in World War II? That guy is a pretty bad guy. I hope I don't get any answers like that. Anyways, the Rizzler is a goat. Subscribe or I burn. Yeah, bye.